Yes, now. Can I hear you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we can hear you.
Hey, thank you very much. So my name is Elizabeth Emepa, and I am one of the facilitators for Max-Migold Fmmc training. So today I'm going to be taking us on facilities, cleaning, and hygiene. But before that, I would like us to all please mute ourselves. If you're not talking, kindly mute yourself. If you have a question or there's something you need to clarify, kindly use the chat button as well. Can you see my screen?
Okay, I'm in conference call.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that. Theophilus, can you please mute yourself? I would like us to all please mute ourselves so that we don't have any voice or other voice from any other places, okay? So I would like us to quickly start about, I've introduced myself. My name is Elizabeth Mepa, as you can see on my screen. I work with Max-Migold and I'm one of the facilities manager for Max-Migold. So I can see we have 24 participants. I would just like us to quickly introduce ourselves in 5 minutes. You tell us your name and tell us what you do, and then we'll quickly go to what we learned from our last class. Can we do that quickly? So I will start with Bamidele. Unmute yourself and just introduce yourself quickly.
My name is Bamidele Duse.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Amos. You can. Yeah. Okay, so if the next person is not available, you can just, whoever is available, just unmute yourself, introduce yourself, tell us what you do, and tell us your take home from the last class. Okay, so Theophilus, looks like you're ready.
I'm Theophilus Ebayode. I'm into construction work. And one of the things I gained in the last course was how the facility manager could help in the area of a maintenance schedule. And that with the schedule, you are able to know which time, irrespective of maybe the asset is expire or not. Schedule will make you to know what the time to change it so that the asset can be useful in a proper way. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Felix. The next person, please. Yeah. Who else is there? Michael, I see Michael, I see Sean. Yeah, Sean, your hand is up quickly.
Okay, good evening. My name is Samuel Oluwaseun John. I work as a maintenance personnel at Golden Tulip Hotel. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sean. Michael.
My name is Michael Binrodad. I work as a maintenance. I work at the maintenance department with Almog Engineering, and I'm trying to do my own side hustle. That is it. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Next person, please. Who else is there? Bamidele, Ayobami. Who else again? There's Faith. There's Kiki. Is it that you guys are shy of introducing yourself, or we just go straight to the class? So, Michael, you didn't tell us what you learned from last class. You're thinking about it. Oh, you've used it to work. Oh, Michael, side hustle. Okay, so, well, why the others are hiding behind the video audio, I would like us to start our class so we don't waste much of our time. So today we're talking about cleaning, facility cleaning and hygiene. when you hear the word cleaning, what comes to your mind? What do you think is the first thing we're talking about? Cleaning. Is it just to clean the ground or clean the surface, or what is it? What is cleaning all about? Can everyone hear me? Oh, I'm audible enough.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. All right, thank you. So cleaning is the removal of unwanted materials, not just unwanted materials, it could be dust, it could be solid, it could be liquid, it could be any form of waste or any form of dirt or debris around us in our facilities and also in our home, not only facilities, in our home, in church, in school, or wherever we find ourselves where we are working. This is cleaning. It could be removal of food, dirt, leftover, and then or anything at all that is that is in a space where we occupied, and unwanted substances in a place where we occupied. So why do we clean? Okay, if I may ask, why do we clean? Why should you clean your facility? Why should you clean your home, so your environment? Why is it so important? Why don't we just leave the place in, why is cleaning important? Does anyone want to say something about that?
Yes, to avoid disease. Hello? To avoid disease and to avoid disease or the spread of disease within the environment.
Oh, okay, to avoid disease and spread of disease in the environment. Thank you very much, Raymond, you want to say something?
It's Raymond that have said something.
Oh, Raymond, okay, all right, thank you.
For the purpose of our health.
Oh, good, for the purpose of our health, okay.
Yeah.
So let's bring it to where we work. Why do we clean our facilities? Let's bring it back to where we work.
To maintain good hygiene.
Okay, to maintain good hygiene, okay. Okay, what again? So it's going to be a discussional class. I'm not only going to be the one talking because we are all going to learn about it, okay? So
to make
that is
our
why
to make our environment healthy, the way we are working, to make it healthy.
our environment healthy. Thank you very much. I don't know, maybe that's opened up for you.
Also to make it attractive.
Oh, to make it attractive. Okay, a good one. Thank you. So when we do cleaning, what do we do? Now, cleaning is a big word. Cleaning is a big word. So how do we break it down and know what we do? You've all said something good. You've talked about hygiene. You've talked about attractive. You've talked about for comfortability, for having a good space, right? We've talked about that. So what are those things we do when we clean? Yeah?
To remove unwanted substances.
Unwanted substances.
Such as
death, okay?
And other impurities.
I didn't get that, please.
And other impurities.
Thank you. Samuel, yes, I see your hand up.
So disinfect.
To disinfect, okay. Okay, that's very good, to disinfect, okay. I hope you are not checking it from where we are. You're reading it from the slide, right?
No.
Okay, that's good. You can meet yourself. Thank you. You see, all our contributions are all correct. Okay, we clean to stay in a comfortable zone because Michael, I see your hand up.
Okay, I also remember that we clean in a built environment, especially during construction time, to be able to remove anything that we can strip on that can cause injury.
Okay. Okay. So to avoid strip and fall, right? Strip and fall. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. So You said it all, okay? We clean for better hygiene. We clean to avoid trip and fall. We clean for good space, right? Now, how can we, what are those things we do when we clean in our facility? Michael, I see, okay, he's not, his hand is not up. Hello, can anyone hear me? Oh my God, I hope not.
Yes, we can hear
We
you.
can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, so why is it essential? Why is it essential that when we are in our facilities, why is cleaning and hygiene important in our facilities? Why? It's a discussion. It's what we are all discussing together. So everyone is. If you need to say something, just raise your hand up. Okay, Chuchu.
Yes, we need to clean in our environment, in our facility, because it's a social responsibility of the company to keep its workers in good health and have a good place to work, good workplace hygiene and all that. Did you hear me?
No, network it's kind of cracking here.
Okay, organizations are mandated to provide good working environment, healthy workspace where employees can work. So it's part of social responsibility of the organization to have a clean workplace.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you. Unduka, yes.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. I think it is necessary to have your workplace well arranged as part of housekeeping, so that things that are not supposed to be where they are not kept in places where they will become an hazard to the people that work within that space. For instance, there are chemicals that should not be together. You don't put them together for hazardous reasons. So you must have a good housekeeping and understand the environment also, so that you don't damage the environment.
Okay. Thank you very much for that, Unduka. Michael.
We also need a cleaned environment so that we can improve our performance, the performance of those in our workplace. Just like the adage said, cleanliness is next to godliness. And if the environment is not clean, the people will be prone to disease and they won't be able to work the way they will work.
Okay, thank you very much all for your beautiful contributions, okay? We are all correct with those young ladies and young men that clean our facilities or that clean our home. What do we refer them as?
Janitors.
Janitors, okay. What else?
Custodians.
Custodians, okay, thank you. Is that Akindele?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. What else?
Housekeepers.
Housekeepers. Thank you, Bamidele.
They don't second.
What else? So you see, we have different names that we call these people, but by standard, it is very important that we call them building custodians, just as someone has said earlier. It's not like janitors or other names that you call them are not right, but when you call them a building custodian, when we call them building custodian, it helps to give them more value. Can everybody see my screen?
No.
No. No.
Okay. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, it's clear now.
Yes, yes. You can see the screen.
Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. But when we call them building custodian. No, Akindele, you say you call them custodian. Why do you call them custodian?
From the location where I work on my site, we call them cleaning custodian because, as you have said, to make them feel valued, because we call them cleaners. They look somehow that they are just mere cleaners. So we call them cleaning custodians to make them look valued, and they really appreciate it.
Fantastic. Exactly that. These people, these guys, these young men and young women, they come in to give value to your facilities. They come in to give value to your asset, to everything you have there. They make it from the depreciated state or whatever it is that is not being confident. They make it look good. They make the environment look so comforting. They make us feel so comfortable in our office areas, in our homes, in our compound, or everywhere we find ourselves. So why should we call them cleaners? Now, we call them building custodian because it makes them feel valuable. Not makes them feel valuable, it gives them value. And we should always ensure that they know that they give value, because without them, we can't do it alone. I mean, if, for example, you run a facilities, can you clean your facilities by yourself? No, you can't. You need someone. And now these are the people that come together and agree to say, okay, Mr. Shenwo, Mr. Samuel, I want to work for you in your facility. And then I want to employ as a custodian. We should always in our facility refer to our housekeepers as building custodian. It helps them to have more zeal to work, like you have said clearly. Now, how often should we train our building custodians? How often do you train them, and what do you train them on? Let's see. Why is it important to train our house custodians? Why? Why do you think is it important in the first place to train our house custodian? Let's start from there. Is it, and why is it important if it is? Anyone?
Yes, good evening.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't indicate my hands. Sorry.
Let's know your name, please.
Okay, my name is Samuel Ekemeli.
Okay.
It's very, very important to give your custodian training, because the moment you're able to train them, they know the appropriate tools, the chemicals that they can use to ensure that you get the value for which they are being paid for, to give your building a very a beautiful aesthetic place, free from germs and dirt. Okay, so if you're able to train them, you get the value, the best of it for what they are offering. Okay, and then it gives them confidence to do their job. Yeah.
Okay, that's correct. Thank you very much. Who else wants to say something? Who else wants to try? Okay, well, I didn't quite get the name, but I would just say thank you for the person who spoke earlier. We train them to help them to stay in line, to stay in focus. Let's say, for example, now you ask me to go and do something and I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to use O4 chemicals, or I don't know how to use liquid soap or something, but you ask me to go and do it. Am I going to do it right? No, I won't. Even if I do it to my knowledge, you would come back and keep complaining that this thing is not done correctly, or even the client. We need to train our building custodians so that we don't get complaint, we don't get escalation, we don't get incident and accident from the substances and chemicals they are using in cleaning. We train them also for them to be able to know the right things to use, the PPEs, the chemicals, as they have said earlier, and also every other thing they use in their cleaning. We also train them for them to be able to understand the importance of personal hygiene. How many of us talk about personal hygiene in our facilities? And when we talk about personal hygiene, what do we say? What do we tell them about it? Anybody? Okay, thank you, Akindele.
When we are talking about personal hygiene, we talk about their appearance because they are the first contact to our customer. So most of them, they even render customer service. Take for instance now, a customer can come in and I want to make use of the restroom. Their appearance matters most. It speaks a lot about their organization. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Akindele. That's very correct. Okay, because if you don't train your workers on personal hygiene, how to look good, how to smell good, how to wear the correct outfits when you're working, or all stuff like that, our customers they won't feel comfortable. Imagine you have a beauty custodian whose hair is so untidy, or maybe his shirt or something is looking not well kept. Me as a customer, I would feel not so comfortable wanting to relate with you. Me as a customer, I would not want to employ your company as the cleaning company to take charge in my company, in my facility or something. So it is important that we train our custodians to know how to dress, know how to use the cleaning substances, and also every other thing that are very important to them. You see, ensure that cleaning behaviors have a comprehensive understanding of the potential consequences of their behavior. We need to train them on their behavior. You don't want to have a rude staff in your facility. It could cost you a whole lot. True or false? True. If you don't train them how to talk to the client, I mean, we all know maybe you just get someone from someone who say, "Oh, God, fitting where," and then you employed him or her, and turns out to be something not reliable or someone rude or something. But because of lack of training or something, we tend to lose a contract or two. So these are the most important thing on how to train, why it is important that we train ourselves. It says there's a training needs to be covered and why as well. Without the awareness of consequences, workers may be motivated to remedy problematic habits, okay? So even among themselves, if we don't train them, help them to understand that it is important to stick together, it is important to work together united. I mean, yes, to work together as one and not having division among themselves, it would not help them to understand. But if we help them to understand that they'll be able to work together in love, and you will not even have any escalation or any what's it called? Any fault from, you won't have any fault from your customers, because all these are because we want to render a good good service to our customers, right? We also need to train them on growing techniques, using correct PPE, environmental monitoring, basic microbiology, how to avoid hazard, how to avoid all these microorganisms, and personal hygiene, cleaning techniques, sampling of cleaning products, storage of tools, product and equipment, documentations as well. It's not only because they are house custodian, we just train them about how to use cleaning materials only or stuff. We also need to train them on important things on how to keep documentation, even the cleaning materials they use. How do they store it? Like someone said earlier, storage of chemicals, how should it be stored? Where should it be stored? Do we put this and this together, or do we separate them so that we can have a little, what's it called? A good hygiene and a very good environment, even where they are staying, right? Okay. So, minutes, please. So talk about cleaning, individual and zone cleaning, right? So who can tell me numbers of colors of mops we have? You know we have different colors of mop. Do we know that? Anybody? Okay. Is anybody there? Can anyone hear me? Oh, I've just been talking to myself.
Me, I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Okay, so who can tell us the colors of mops? We have Faith. I see your hand up.
Yes, I know we have different colors of mops, but I didn't know there was a reason for that.
Oh, okay.
So I know we have ash color. I've seen blue. I've seen pink or so. So, but I didn't know there was a reason for the colors.
Okay. Who else wants to try?
I've also seen, this is Chinyere, I've also seen green. Green, yes. Actually, I'm hearing for the first time that there's a reason, there's a purpose for each of these colors. It's quite interesting.
Okay. Who
Yeah.
else wants to try? Green, pink. What did he say earlier? Blue. Okay. Who else wants to try? One more person.
Also yellow.
Yellow. Okay. And which other color? Akindele. Okay.
We have yellow for kitchen and for food area. Then we have red for washroom and toilet. We have blue for restaurant and bar. We have green for public area.
Okay, green for public area. Okay. So what about white? What about white? The majority one we see and use every day, we use white, isn't it? What about the white? Okay, apparently we, like you've all said, we have mops for different places. But most times in our facilities, we use the same mop for toilets. We use the same mop for probably the chow room, that's the cafeteria, and also the work area, the office area. This is wrong. We have red, we have blue, we have white and yellow, like some other would say. Okay, and each of these mop, they have their different places and different places where they should be used. Okay, I mean, for example, why should we use a white mop that we use for our office area in the toilets? Why is it bad? Why do you think it's bad? Why? Who want to try? Who want to try? I have one mop, right? And I decide to use that one mop, or yes, I decide to use that one mop. I use it to clean the toilet. I use it to clean the bathroom. And I have another mop. I have a blue mop and 3 different mop, one for kitchen, one for the chow room, cafeteria, one for the rooms, or let me say the office area, and another one for the toilet. Why do you think it is important for us to use different mops in different of these places? Why? We want to say something.
Well, can I try? It's for the purpose, you know, something like you said, you can't use one for an office area and then for the toilet. So to avoid contamination or the spread of diseases, and so that's from the scientific background that I have. That is why I think there are different colors for different areas.
Okay, that's very correct, Sherry. Who else wants to say something?
For hygiene purpose.
Hygiene purpose. Okay, Sammy, thank you. Who else? You see, we all have the, okay, yeah, who's that? Hello? Is someone saying something? Hello? Okay, you see, we all have the answers. It's just that most times we don't get to acknowledge, we don't get to know, because we feel not like we ignore it, it's just because we don't know. But we all have the answers for hygiene purposes. So you don't take germs from the toilet to the lawn, to the chow room, or to the office area, or whatever germs you have from the office area. You don't take it to the cafeteria. You don't take it to the sleeping area. Someone is raising his hand up.
Yes, I think also the purpose of that color coding is for easy identification, so that you know the one that is where and where you need to use them. Because if you just have the same similar mob everywhere, scattered everywhere, in fact, you can misplace or even introduce the wrong one where you're not supposed to.
Okay, that's very correct. Thank you very much for that. You see, for quick identification as well, you see, we all know these things, but how many of us practice it in our facilities? How many of us try as much as possible to make this thing important that someone don't fall sick. You see me, someone come to clean my office space, and then the next minute the whole place is smelling rotten, like a rotten egg. Why? When last did you check that mop? Is that the correct mop? Probably the young man or the young woman has used the mop inside the toilet. Probably just finished wiping the toilet, and someone said, please go and clean my office area, there's water or something. And he just took the same mop where he just cleaned urine and all kind of stuff, and then bring it straight to the office. Please, it is not acceptable as the facility manager. If we do that, if we use one same mop, let's say you say, they change my mop every 3 months or every 2 months, I change mop, I do this, I do that. No, it is important that we have different mop for different places to clean different places at different times. Because let's see what we have here. Within a given area or a building, an employee performs all duty related to cleaning. No, this is not what I want to look at. A minute, please. Okay. So I'll just use my mouth to explain what I want us to look. Okay, Unduka, you have your hand up.
Yes. Once again, I want to talk about this. Well, the idea of having to separate them up for separate environments. I also think, it has a lot. Even though you have the knowledge and you know what you, as a facility manager, you know what to do. There are some, like where I work, they are majorly community contractors who manage such cleaning jobs. Now, these are people that are very stubborn to manage because they are from the community and they feel you cannot touch them or do anything to them because they are, maybe they have the cluster that protects them. Now you tell them, they tell the contractor to provide different mob for different location. It's a problem for us already because they will know, they'll look at the cost impacts on them. They want to make money and they want to even spend less in managing, in doing their duty. You want to go all out, but then they will still come at you. So even if you have the knowledge and you want to practice it, then the challenges of even educating these people is a problem. I don't know how someone could even go around that space.
Okay. Thank you very much, Unduka. Now, it boils down back to why it is important that we train those that work with us. Are you with me? If you train me as your staff that this is why we should do this, despite the fact that as a contractor as well, I want to cut costs or we want to have profit. But if you help us to understand the importance of why this thing is done, I'm not sure it would be a problem. Maybe you're a community staff or a community employee or whoever employs you. If you help them to know why, you see, that is why training is important. If you don't train me, I won't know. If you don't tell me, to some, training might look like they don't know what they're supposed to do. Yeah, they don't, but you know the end result. You are the facility manager. You know the results you want at the end of it. Are you with me? So if you don't let them know, you would help them to understand what it would cost you as a manager for your own job. Because if there is no good service, your customer would not be satisfied. True or false? True. We are doing all this for the satisfaction of our customers. But if it's not properly done, they will start having rumors and murmuring underneath. And before you know it, you are out of the facility. They will tell you don't know what you are doing. So it is important that we emphasize on training on all those that work with us in our facilities, in our workplace, company, and anywhere we find ourselves. So like I was saying earlier about cleaning and why it should be done. Cleaning tools are separated for each task. Like we mentioned, different tools for restroom and different tools for classroom, for workspace and other places we have in our facility. It also increases productivity. Like someone also said earlier, it also helps us for quick identification, less confusion. Oh, maybe we are using white mop for everything. just pick one white mop because it's white. Toilet own is white, kitchen own is white. You just pick one white mop and then voila, you went to go and clean the kitchen with a toilet mop. It helps to train a single discipline as well, and then it causes less confusion. Okay, so now we are knowing that the different colors of mops we have is because of the different places that these are building custodians where they clean up, and also to reduce spread of germs in our environment. Unduka, do you still have something to say? Your hands are still up. Okay, so we go to color coding in cleaning. Just what we just explained earlier. So designated certain cleaning tools and processes by color schemes, segregated equipment, materials, and procedure. Prevent cross-infection and cross-contamination, just like what we've explained earlier. Red, most often used in eye sanitary, eye risks for the spread of infection, or in the restroom cleaning, such as with toilets and urinals. Okay, we've talked about that. So these are the color codes and the color codes in building, in cleaning, and these are the explanations. So there is red, there is yellow for counter, there's blue, and also there's green. Can anyone hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So can help to map out area of concentration for cleaning, e.g. start from the cleanest, less contaminated area to the dirtiest or most contaminated area. So our mop sticks, what's it called? Our buffing clothes or towel with napkin as well should not be the same size, should not be the same type of the napkin you're using to clean handrails outside, should not be the same napkin you're using to clean the office desk or the cafeteria table or something. We should have different napkins for different places with also different colors for easy identification. Unduka, do you still have something to say? Okay, so we clean for best health practice. Why? Why should we clean for best health practice? Does anybody want to try? Okay, so we know in the markets today we have a lot of cleaning chemicals, true or false? And every day we keep seeing different names, we keep seeing different chemicals, we keep seeing different products. Let me use it that way, different products whereby they'll tell you, that this one, they shine tie well. If you use them, your ties could they shine. I'll be your wall, I'll be your toilet or whatever. Okay, if you use this on tail wash hand, they wash and they come out the dirty, all sort of things that we get to see in the market, and we just feel like, also in the name of cutting cost, as well, we go ahead to get some products whereby we know that they are not, should I say certified, or should I say, what should I use to classify it now? That are not up to standard. Yes, that's the word, that are not up to standard. It is absolutely wrong, right? In our workspace, we shouldn't use toxic materials. We shouldn't use something, maybe a soap or something, and you just use it and it's not even effective, or maybe it has this unpleasant odor or something. It's very, very not good. Use less toxic third-party certified cleaners, paper product or hand soap. Use easy to clean, not soap that you buy, even if you are using a little quantity and then you start cleaning. No. We should reduce quantity of chemical, minimize exposure, dilute properly. Those of us that we all work in different places and we have different facilities, how often kind of chemicals we use? How do we expose our custodians to it? How do we expose even those in the office to it? Because sometimes someone will say something is smelling and then you decide to go and get air freshener and freshen the whole place up, whereby you can eliminate that smell, eliminate whatever it is with proper hygienic clean. So it is important that the kind of chemicals and the kind of materials we are using, we don't even get harmful. We don't use it excess so we don't get sickness as well from it. So there's something here, and I would like, it said disinfect only target areas. Where are target areas? I want 5 persons to tell me 5 target areas. No, each person, 5 different persons, just tell me 1 target area each, in your facility or in your homes or in your school or anywhere. Okay, Unduka, Michael.
Okay, the first area is your rail. It's the target area where hands are always touching.
Okay, hands are always touching. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Unduka, is your hand up? Okay, who else wants to try? 5 target area that we need to always disinfect in our places. 4 more to go, please. I'll make it an assignment to Bamidele. Okay.
Other target area are the walkway and the lobby area.
That you should always disinfect. Okay.
Yeah, yes.
Are you sure about that?
Not really, but I just felt that a lot of people pass.
Okay, you try.
A lot of people take that entrance into their various apartments and offices.
Okay, I'll think about it. Samuel.
Okay, I think one more target area should be your convenience. Okay.
Okay.
It's just the thinking, though. I'm not sure. Thank you.
Just the thinking. Okay. Ashu, Lillian.
Okay. I think the target area should be the washrooms, the convenience, the bathrooms. Those places should be disinfected.
Okay. Thank you.
The last one I even sent for you, not the one where I work on.
Lillian, you can meet yourself.
I reach out and they drive.
True.
I'll send that for you.
Target areas should be where, like handrails and door handles.
Okay.
Door handles, they are playing now. Door handles.
Okay. Okay, Faith.
Yeah, they just mentioned what I wanted to say, the doorknobs.
Okay.
That's the target. Everybody
Have said everything. Okay. Tope, have you said something?
Also, our tables.
No, our chairs at the receptions and the pantries.
Okay, who is this speaking?
Temitope.
Okay, Tope. Okay, thank you. Victor, the last one.
Okay, restrooms, basically.
Restrooms, basically. Okay.
And also where we dump refuse.
Okay. Where we do what?
Where we dump our refuse.
Our refuse site. Okay, that's very correct. Thank you, everybody. You all said something really, really important, but you forget something. Most of us in our facility, we have elevators, true or false? How about our elevator?
How about our elevator?
I didn't get that. Akili, are you saying something? Okay.
I think somebody said something of a handrail. It's part of the elevator also.
That's correct. Handrails, that's correct. Every now and then, we use the elevator, we use the handrails, the doors, the door handles from every door, toilet, kitchen, entrance. How about our door handles? We spoke about that. And when we disinfect these things, why do we call them targeted areas? Because every now and then people touch it. Every now and then, I'm not sure in 20 minutes you won't walk to the door. I'm not sure in 20 minutes you won't rest on the handrail. You will probably go out and rest. And someone can come from the toilet and touch it. Someone can cough into his or her hands and touch it, or all sort of things. Why? Who is that? Can you please mute yourself? Please. Thank you. That is why it is important that we disinfect this so that we don't carry germs. We don't take germs from our facility. We don't take it home. What about our steering as well? We exchange money, our car keys, everything, our table as well. It is important that we disinfect all of these things. All disinfectants are toxic, right? Disinfectants should be used only when needed. Okay, and what kind of disinfectant are we talking about here? Who can tell me three, just three disinfectants, just three that we can use that are of standard quality in our facilities? Three, just three. Are we there? Hello? Three disinfectants. Is someone raising their hands up or everybody is shy?
Okay.
Let's try.
How about the use of chlorine?
Is that Victor?
That's Samuel.
Samuel, chlorine. Don't worry. You are preparing assignment for every one of you. Okay, who else?
I think alcohol.
Alcohol. Break it down, please. Alcohol is large. There's drinking alcohol, there's spirit. So which alcohol is this?
Clean alcohol. Clean alcohol. The one we used during COVID. You know, during COVID, the cleaning was intense then. Cleaning alcohol.
Okay. Okay, and then the last one.
Sometimes
someone else.
Alum.
Alum. Who said alum?
Theophilus.
Theophilus. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for your answers. Okay. Whichever works for you in your facility, it is always essential that you don't use this thing excessively, okay? And you only use it when it is important. You mentioned chlorine, you mentioned alum, you mentioned alcohol, sanitizer, jig, IPO, whichever one you use in your facility. It is important that you dilute it properly so that you don't cause health issues to yourself or even to those in your working environment. It is important that you follow the manual's instruction. How many of us used to read those manual's instruction when we buy a product or something? How many of us read it? Honestly. And how many of us probably follow it, the instruction? Because I'm sure if for example, I'm buying this, what's this thing called now? This spray, this window spray. And then on the manual instruction, they said spray glass a little and wipe with cloth directly. How many of us follow those instructions on the body? Or do we think it's just there just because, I beg, they like write something, I make them write and put. No, these things are very important. The manufacturer's instructions are very important. It is important that we read them and we follow them. And we also ensure that those of our custodians who are going to be using this thing, they follow it as well. If you don't read it, believe me, your custodian would not read it. So it is your own responsibility to ensure that your customer read and understand what they want to use. You don't have someone to go and disinfect something and then the guy just put half of the whatever chemical you're using for disinfecting and then went there to just go and clean, and then the whole place is smelling alcohol or chlorine or something. So it is very important that we follow strictly to manual's instruction, and as well consider peroxide-based disinfectants also as part of what we use. We'll take a 5-minute break and then we'll continue from here. Is that okay? Hello?
Okay.
Yes, so okay.
It's fine.
It's okay.
Yes, it's fine.
Are we all together? Okay, so when we clean, when we dust and wipe and disinfect and all sorts that we do, what kind of clothes do we use? What kind of wipe do we use? Do we use normal hand towels, or do we use microfiber? What kind of clothes do we use? So if you see here, the towel, they said try microfiber. Some of us will say, what are microfiber? So I'm just going to show you an example of a microfiber cloth here, something like this. Something, if you use it to wipe and clean wherever you have your table or something, it doesn't leave mint or this lint, this thing on the glass or on the table or something. If you notice, sometimes when you clean your door, when you clean your windows, when you clean something, you see some white things. It's bad. Or maybe you see the sign of when you clean something and then you see that I've cleaned it around it. It is very bad. It is important that we use this kind of fiber cloth for all surface. What is cost effective, okay, and it doesn't even get bad as quick as the other one. It also reduces use of chemical. When you're using a fiber cloth, you don't need to use so much chemical for whatever it is you're wiping. It minimizes water use. It doesn't take, you don't have to put in so much water because as it's dry, it can do as much as what you need it to do. It prevents injury. Sometimes when we use some dry towels, all these thick dry towels, it puts scratches. Yes, that's what, scratches on our glasses or on our table or something. So it is important that we use the right clothes, the right tools, let me put it that way, for the kind of work we're doing. If, for example, you're cleaning a window from up, let's say a high window, we have this, what's it called? There's this long thing that you can use to clean and wipe the window down. So you don't start stretching and start trying to jump to meet up to clean the windows. Don't expose yourself to pain as well. It is also effective, reduce dirt, avoid cross-contamination, okay? So, green cleaning products. Okay, we've discussed about this also. So it's not only microfiber cloth, we also have some microfiber mop, right? We have some mops that doesn't, when you use them, you don't see cut mop everywhere around. If you've noticed, most times the kind of mop they sell in the markets now, if you try to clean under the chair or something, and then the chair probably, you roll the chair over the mop, you see that the chair will just pull out one string. And then before you know it, your mop is finished. Your custodian will say, my mop don't finish, Oga. How did it finish? Probably because it was not the original mop. So it is important that whenever we are using all these things, we should use the good products for our facilities. So plan cleaning schedule. Well, how do you schedule your cleaning? How do you give your tasks? How do you schedule the tasks for your facility, for your building custodian? It says the simplest way to keep a place reliable, clean, stick to a schedule. Yeah, that's very correct. How many of us agree to that? Sticking to a schedule. And why should we even stick to a schedule? Why should Elizabeth, Jackson, Victor, and Akindele, why should they stick to cleaning? Let's say we are all working in the same facility. Why should we stick to cleaning the areas, cleaning the office area or the child room or the toilet or something? It helps us to get ready. If there's anything, I will know that, oh, Elizabeth is the one in charge of the toilet, or Jackson is the one in charge of the. Everyone get to know what they need to do and when they need to do it without any reminder or something. You know that, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do today. This is what I'm supposed to do tomorrow. That is the importance of having a cleaning schedule. It helps your staff to stay focused on what they need to do and doing it right, okay? Choosing cleaning areas and identify tasks, build up the list, select frequency, identify cleaning style, practice the schedule, stay on track, and reevaluate the schedule, and then make it a habit. If you know that, because Elizabeth already knows this is what she needs to do, and in this particular location. Please, am I too fast? Is anybody hearing me?
Yes,
No,
yes,
you're
we can
not.
hear you.
Yes, we can hear you. You're not fast.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So you know that these are the tasks that you need to do. On no account will I need to be reminded again that, oh, Elizabeth, have you cleaned the toilet? Elizabeth, have you cleaned the handrails? You understand? Because I already have a plan. And before you know it, before the end of the week or the end of the month, I already know that these are the things I need to do without being reminded. And then I carry them out effectively. Okay, so we have cleaning rules. And why do we have cleaning rules? Who can tell me why we have cleaning rules? Anybody? Anybody? Anybody want to say something why we have cleaning rules? Okay. Okay. Chichi?
I guess we have cleaning rules because just to follow standards and to provide quality, I guess. That's my guess.
Okay, to follow standard and provide quality. Okay, Victor. Chichi, you can keep your hands down now.
Okay, I feel every activity needs a standard operating procedure, more like an SOP. Yeah, so the rules stand as the SOP for cleaning generally.
Okay, thank you very much. Unduka, are you sure your hands are not paining you yet? Your hands are still up. Okay, Kiki.
Yes, to also use the right tools for the activities.
To use the right tools for the activities. And every other, thank you, you can keep your hands down now. And every other decision and every other reasons why we have, which are very important, that we have cleaning rules, okay? Unduka, are your hands up or?
Yes, I just dropped them, but actually, I think also safe chemical handling should also be part of it.
I didn't get that, please.
Safe chemical handling, because sometimes the detergents, all those chemicals they use, it should also be, they should also consider when doing the cleaning.
Okay, for safe chemical handling. Okay, thank you. You can keep your hands down and mute yourself. Thank you very much. You see, we have rules for a lot of reasons, like you've all mentioned, and every other reasons that you couldn't hear out right now. Because everything we do, it is very important. You get it? If you use an excess alcohol for somewhere, it's going to have its own effect, true or false? So you would instruct me, Elizabeth, as your custodian, please do not use more than a cover lid of this bottle to disinfect or to wash or to do something, because every move counts, okay? Also for us to use the right tools. Like we mentioned earlier, you don't use a napkin for the bathroom in the child room. You don't use a mop or something. For us to be able to use the right thing to work at the right time, for us to work from bottom to top. If it is dirty, though, if it's not dirty, don't clean it. You just see some people just walking around because they want to form walking, excuse me, and then they'll just keep monitoring and doing a particular place so that everybody can say, oh, Elizabeth, you're so hardworking or something. If it's not necessary, you don't have to go there to go clean it, just leave it. And also, don't rinse or wipe a surface before it is clean. Yeah, don't keep walking after it is clean. If you don't, for every other reasons that you can see on the screen, is why we have cleaning rules. And so we also have cleaning equipment and products. What are the kind of equipment we have? Let's just talk at least three persons talk about the cleaning equipment that you know and how you use them. or let's just talk about, we have a lot of cleaning equipment, true or false? Okay, online class.
True.
Yes,
Very
so
true.
yes, so can we just mention, just, okay, I think I see your hand.
We have scrubbing brush.
Scrubbing brush. Are you looking from my slide?
No, at all.
Okay.
Also, we have a local broom. We have local broom too.
Local broom, okay. Someone else want to try? Michael?
We have vacuum cleaners.
Vacuum cleaner, okay, that's correct. Thank you. Samuel?
We have local hand packers and brooms. We
Local
have
what?
local hand packers.
Hand packer, okay, dustpan, okay, okay.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Is that Samuel again or someone that just spoke? Samuel?
I'm done speaking, man.
Oh,
Local
okay.
hand packers, yes. We have mobs, yes.
Okay, so thank you. So we have so much cleaning equipment and so much products that we have in our facilities, that we use in our facilities to ensure a clean place, to ensure a comfortable, a usable place for our clients and even for ourselves only. Because if in your house you have someone who tidies your home to ensure that your home is in good order, right? You provide him or her a lot of things to make sure that everything is done well. And nobody say, oh, gas soap no day. Now make you use ordinary water take clean floor, isn't it? You provide this. Nobody say mop no day. Now make you they use to take clean floor. So, and then sweeper, the kind of sweeper. What kind of sweeper do we use? What kind of brush do we use? We have that. We have scrubbing brush. We have detailed brush, soft brush, and brooms. We have all this equipment that we use to in tidying up our facility. Okay, so also to the mechanical equipment, like someone said earlier, we have the what's it called? Scrubber, the floor scrubber. We have the floor polishing machine. You can see the pictures of all these things. Okay, we have the vacuum sweeper as well. So all of this equipment, as mentioned here, they all have they do different things. I don't expect you to use a carpet shampoo or a carpet dryer to want to use it to scrub the floor. Is it possible? No, it's not. You don't expect a carpet pile lifter, something to raise stuff up, to raise carpet up. You expect it to use it to want to shine the tiles. No. So factors to consider. What are those factors we need to consider when we are selecting our cleaning equipment? You don't just go to the market because I see what's this company called? Max-Migold, because I see them in Max-Migold. They use this buffer, or they use this scrubbing machine. They have it in their facility, and then they use it in their facility. They have a terrazzo floor, and then you don't have a tiles or something, you decide to get that kind of, you have a carpet or you have a rug, and then you decide to get this equipment, and at the end of it, you don't know how to use it. It is totally wrong. Okay, we need to consider energy use. Excuse me.
You're muted, ma'am.
Sorry, you're muted.
Yes, sorry. You need to consider the energy that you use. You understand? If you work in a factory, or if wherever you work, is it sustainable? What's the cost of, like, if we are going to be using this thing, then what kind of water, what kind of product are we going to be using into it? Then the noise, is it going to be good for working area ergonomy? How am I going to be using it? Am I going to be bending, or I'm going to be standing, or how will this thing be used? You understand? Then we'll talk about chemical usage. We've talked earlier about chemicals and how we use chemical, but one thing that we would also need to talk about is SDS, okay? SDS is safety data sheet. When we buy a chemical, for example, O4, what what is the data sheet? How is it supposed to be used? Okay. Don't use chemical if you don't have properly, if you haven't been properly trained. You don't expect to use an O4 on a terrazzo floor or on a tile or something to chop it off. You don't expect to use a tile, even our tiles, our floor tiles, right? They have different chemicals. You can't use the same chemical you use for maybe an Italian tiles for the normal tiles we have in our homes or something. They don't do that. Sorry, excuse me. Okay. We should always store our food and package away before chemical. Don't keep your food. In short, anything you use often, don't keep it where you keep chemicals. It is very, very bad. Inhaling it alone is bad for our health. You understand? So we should always keep our food or water or substances that we consume into our body away from where we keep chemicals. Use only approved chemicals for the tasks you are doing. Don't say maybe because there's a tough stain in your toilet and you feel whatever chemical it is you use is what you're supposed to use. Rather, you can use deep action, you can use a vim, you can use something, because it could even damage what you're trying to use it for. Let's say, for example, most times we experience what's this thing called, this brownish thing on the wall due to water, frequent dropping of water and all. And then you decide to use a very harsh chemical, O4, for example. O4 is one chemical that I know is very harsh. And then you decide to use it on the tiles or on a ceramic. It's going to damage it over time. So it is important that we use approved chemical for appropriate tasks we are doing. Then use according to manufacturer label. You see, it is important when they write something on the bottle or on the container or something, you read it. But we Nigerians, they said if you want to hide a book, if you want to hide something, hide it in the book, right? It's not like it's an habit. I know some of us still read, but I know some of us still find it, I know as they do them, I know as they use them. I know some of my neighbors use them before. No, it is wrong. Why they put that label, why that thing is there, is for you to be able to understand it, to read it, and to know how to use it, so that you don't even cause hazard or injury to yourself and also to the other person around them. So know where to locate the safety data sheet. Usually it's called material safety data sheet, but they call it SDS, okay? SDS for all chemicals you are using, your liquid soap, your jig, your bleach, your windowing, or anything at all you're using in your facility. Always know where to find the safety data sheet, because a client can walk up to you and say, I don't like the smell of this thing. What kind of soap are you using? What's the data sheet? What's the safety? What's the implication? You know, let's know the importance of it. Let's know the harmfulness and how it reduces what hazard it costs to those around it. Always store chemicals safely away from food. Like we mentioned earlier, do not store your chemicals where you have your food. On no account should your house custodian have their chemicals or their food in the same room. It is totally wrong. It's hazardous to them and it's also hazardous to those around them. Keep chemicals in their original container. I've seen a lot of people whereby they, in the name of minimizing and managing, they turn chemical into different bottles. Someone might just see this water bottle and think maybe it's water. Meanwhile, what's it called? Bleach also looks like water. And you didn't label it, right? So if you're going to be transferring your chemicals from one bottle to another bottle because you don't want someone to use it too much, always label the bottle, bleach, put date, please do not use, capital letter in bold, so you save the life of those using it or someone else, because someone has accidentally drank jig before thinking maybe it's water. So for us to avoid all these incidents and accidents in our facility, we should always use the right bottles and the right containers. But if you are trying to share it for them to use, always ensure that they are properly labeled, okay? It says store chemical according to direction on the label, just the same thing we've talked about. Cleaning process, pull or trash, recycling. So what are the cleaning methods? What cleaning method do we have? Okay, let's talk about it. Cleaning methods. We have cleaning method and we have cleaning, yes, cleaning method. So what are the cleaning methods we have? Anybody? Are we shy? Okay, yes. Akindele, you can go ahead. I don't know what is happening. Akindele, yes, your hand is up.
I say mopping, sweeping, spot cleaning, spot mopping, then polishing.
You said spot mopping. Did you say spot mopping?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so we have different type of cleaning process. We have different type of methods we use in eliminating dirt, in eliminating dust, in eliminating whatever it is in our environment. Okay, removal of liner or reline of all waste container, removal of solid soiled lining, and then cleaning waste tables, high dust. We have high dust everywhere above shoulders level or out of reach. How do we treat this? How do we make these places whereby they are high above us? How do we clean it? Even the ones that are not even high. In our places, windows, lights, sockets, switches, and all. How do we take care of them? How do we use this? We use an extension pole with duster. We know what an extension pole is, right? All those long pole for cleaning places that are above our hands, okay? Never hide dust around people. So you see some people, they are cleaning. Maybe, for example, I'm cleaning and then Bamidele is just beside me and then I just decide to do this and then do this right in front of Bamidele. It is absolutely wrong, okay? So cleaning method, we have dry mopping. We have dry mop, and we have wet mop. There are areas whereby you don't expect a wet place, and then you still go there to go and clean it with a wet mop. Okay, designed to pick up dry, loose contamination such as dust, earth, and sand from surfaces of floor. That's the dry mop and dust mop, right? It also consists of yarn and or microfiber and is used in the first step of cleaning a floor. So this is a dry mop and also a dust mop. So if you see what we have here, we have pictures of two kinds of mop. This is red and then we have also a white mop. So these mops, they are designed to do different kind of also. So we also have the wet mop and the moist mop, okay, which is just in the second step in cleaning of a surface. The wet mop is swept over the surface to dissolve and absorb the fat, the dirt, and everything while you clean it up with the dry mop. Then we also have the damp wipe, okay, like I mentioned earlier, the wiping of surfaces, wipe everything you are able to reach, right? What are those things we are able to reach? Sometimes our glass, our windows, and all, but we should not forget where a lot of our people forget to clean most times the back of our chairs, our light socket, what's it called? Edges of the light. It is very important. The curb on the floor, the tiles. It is very important that we look into these things where people don't, you think they don't get to see. But yeah, they do, because those are the places whereby someone can just come in. You can imagine your tiles and then there's a curb. Someone can just come in and see it very dusty, but won't say anything. Your client will just take note of it. But it is important that we teach our custodians how to look through those places that are not focused on, right? They need to look through that. Clean bathroom, start at the door and end in with the toilet. Don't start the toilet to the door, okay? You start from the don't start from the toilet to the door. So you start from the door and then you do the toilet, you wash the bowl and everything, and then you use a clean wipe to wipe the surface, the what's it called, mirror, and then the washing hand basin and all. Dust mop floor, dust behind all furnitures and door, move whatever it is possible. You get, don't clean around, don't just clean around the desks or around the chair or something. You move things, you move them. You see sometimes in our offices or in our homes or something where our bed is, because we cannot move it or we can't see someone to move it, they just clean around it. It is totally wrong. The day a client will come and then probably a paper or something will slide under the table, and before you bring it out, you see how dusty under that table is because it has not been cleaned. So it is important that we look at every angles, every corner. Make sure you go extra mile cleaning every other place. Say move whatever it is possible. Tables are movable, chairs are movable. Don't just tell them that. They'll come and say, no, we don't clean them now. That place is clean. No, don't accept it. Anywhere someone goes to clean and then 5 minutes later you can use your hand and wipe dust and see dust, it is totally wrong. Place wet floor sign. Ensure you always use your signages whenever they are cleaning, especially if they're having a wet cleaning. Ensure that you have your signage out there so that someone doesn't bump in, also to avoid incident or maybe a slip, trip and fall, okay? Stay with the corner fastest from the floor and walk from your way out, okay? Mop out corners to prevent builds up, okay? Inspect the room, report any needed repair, correct any deficiencies. Is the room ready for use? So we should, as much as possible, teach our building custodians how to give reports, okay? Their work is not just to go and clean. Are we together? They should know how to, if there's something bad, maybe they're cleaning a particular space and then they notice that the chair is bad. Excuse me. The chair is bad. They should know how to give reports. They should know how to say, this thing is bad though. If it's something they can fix, fine. If it's not, call the responsible person to come and fix it. It is very, very important. Earlier we talked about why we should train them and things we should train them on. This also includes that as much as also documentation. Your custodian shouldn't clean somewhere and then you're not feeling comfortable, or maybe 5 minutes later you start saying, then we're going to see what this person has done. Maybe we are having an inspection or something. If your custodian has done something right and you've trained them on how to do something, you should be rest assured. But if you don't have a peace of mind because of what your custodian have done, then you have a lot of work to do. Are we together? Okay, so report any needed repairs, correct any deficiencies. Is the room ready for use? If yes, if no, then they need to do it again, okay? So how to use dry mop and how to use wet mop. We're going to read it. We all have dry mop. Why should we use dry mop and why should we use wet mop? Like I said, so dry mop, use a continuous wiping motion either to the back and or forth pattern. Anyhow they want to use it, that is its mentioned, as far as you use it correctly to do what you need to do, okay? We should also understand that use a broom and it does not pick any large debris behind. Don't try to use mop to sweep. Are we together? Don't try to use mopping stick to sweep. It is, I've seen some people whereby they say they are mopping and then they are using the mop to pick out. Mop will not pick out dirt for you. No, it will not. The dry mop will not pick out dirt for you. A dry mop, because you want to try to wipe out under the decks, would not pick out every other substances of dirt that is under there. It won't do that for you. Okay, shake the mop out as needed. So we also have this sweeper. I don't know, maybe we know this sweeper. It's a cloth, a long cloth. It was. Did anyone notice it earlier? Yes. Okay. Can we see this? Can we see this?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. Yeah, we can see it.
Good. So that's a sweeper that you can use to you see where all those brushes and all those broom or what it is we use in our houses cannot get to. You use a sweeper to sweep it all out, and then every time you're using, because that is a dry mop, every time you're using it, you always dust it out. Don't take it and then say, okay, make I just use and clean up everything once. No. You take it portion by portion and then you dust it out. So if you're using a wet mop as well for cleaning, you mix your water and then your choice of solution into the chemical, a little of it. Now let me ask a question. If, for example, your custodian is cleaning and then you have a bucket of water, and in this bucket of water is full of, is foamy, right? It's very foamy. Is that a good practice? Hello?
I don't understand the question.
You don't understand the question. Someone is cleaning, right? Your custodian, you see their bucket of water very foamy. What does that tell you?
Maybe they are using too much detergent.
Okay. Too much soap, okay. And
Yeah.
and when they clean, what would it give you? What do you think? Not you, someone else. When they finish cleaning that particular space, what do you think that place would look like? Yes, Akindele.
It will still show the laddered chemical. It will show some stretch of mark.
Okay.
Carrying the dust on the floor.
Okay, that's very correct. And that is a very bad practice. Are we together? It's a very, very bad practice that when you ask someone to go and clean, and then he or she fill the bucket or adds water and you are seeing so much lather inside the water, it is a bad practice, okay? If you do that, please stop it. A little, you don't need your mopping bucket to be full of lather. It's not the soap, it's not the lather, it's not that thing they are putting into it, it's not the quantity of what they are putting into it that would remove the dirt or germs that you have on the floor. No, a little of it and the effectiveness of how they wipe on the floor. Please let us take note of that. Okay, they all know how they mop, you know how you ask them to mop. And in case maybe they probably use this soap and there is still lather on the floor, please ask them to clean it again until it is properly wiped. If you are seeing a lather or a mop pattern or something on the floor, it is a wrong cleaning. Are we together? It is totally a wrong cleaning, yeah? So dusting refers to clearing away house dust. Mistakenly use your mistakes usually made when dusting. When we are dusting, how do we dust? Do we dust like this, like buff surface, or we dust like this? How do we make our dust? So using a feather duster, these tools usually spread dust from one surface to another. There are some of us we say is that thing that has a long stick that looks like maybe a cow tail or something. I don't know, but here they call it a feather duster. That when you do it like this, it's wiping. No, it's not dusting off the dirt. It will still bring something back there because what is inside, you are supposed to dust to wipe off, not to dust to put another thing. Overlooking heating and air conditioning vents, dry dusting, spraying polish directly on furniture. We see some of our people, what do they use? Whatever chemical substance they use for windows and doors, and also you don't spray directly on the furniture. It's bad. You put a little in your napkin and then you use it to clean. And as often as possible, don't forget to change your napkin, to wash your napkin as well and keep it clean. Forgetting to change or clean a vacuum filter. For those that use vacuum cleaners, maybe for they have rubbed place or the tiles or windows or something. Always remember to change the filters. Always remember to bring it out for washing. Always remember to change it as often as possible so that it doesn't even take the dirt back to the floor. Okay, so we have stripping. We also have mistakes cleaning personnel when Mistakes cleaning personnel makes when tripping floors. Okay. So we've talked about this earlier, not knowing the type of floor and the type of machine you are using. We mentioned this earlier, not having the tools necessary and on hand before starting the jobs. Not wearing safety clothes, right? We mentioned all this earlier because if you train, you don't get the first thing, you don't get the equipment because every other cleaning company has it. You are not the same person, or you don't manage the same place with every other cleaners. Cleaning companies, fine, you can have it, but you should know when to use it and where to use it. It is very, very important so that you don't even put yourself into debt because you want to impress a client or something, then you go and use the wrong machine in a wrong place. It's very, very not acceptable. Okay, working in too large a work area, not posting safety cones around the work area. I mentioned this earlier. It is very, very important that we have what's it called, cones, right? Caution signs, yes, that's the word. Caution signs. It is very important that we have a caution signs around. Whenever you're cleaning, always put a caution sign. Tell them to place their caution signs so that someone doesn't come out of the elevator with high heel and then trying to walk across and then he or she falls. And I mean, that's a fault on you, a total fault on you. And then not allowing for proper dwelling time, not properly diluting the stripper or always section of the floor and working areas. Whenever we are working with machines that are electrical, it is very important that we put on our correct PPEs, okay? If you're working with a buffer or a scrubbing machine like this one, always ensure that whoever is operating it knows very well how to use it. Because this machine, this equipment, they are very, very harmful. If they are not properly used or if they are not properly handled, they can cause incidents even to us and damage to the facilities. So it is very important that we use the right equipment and then we know how to use it very well. Okay, so we talked about hygiene earlier, okay, and why it is important for us to practice hygiene. It's a set of practice performed for the preservation of health. If you are not healthy, you can't work. True or false? True. Or maybe false. Maybe some people will say false. But the truth is, do you run cleaning service? Are you talking to me? Okay. Okay, I'm not sure that message. I'm not seeing. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes,
Hello?
we can see your screen.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, because I'm just seeing the message. Someone said can't see my screen. Probably network. Lillian, check your network. Sorry? Lillian, please check your network. Maybe it's your network that is causing that. So we mentioned earlier about hygiene, why it is important for us to keep hygiene, to be hygienic, okay? Hygiene in the kitchen, hygiene in the bedroom and toilet, and office area, okay? It is very, very important. Routine cleaning of sites and surfaces reduce the risk of spreading germs. That is very true. If you don't, surfaces like our laptops, our tables, handles, everywhere that we place our hands on every now and then, because if you notice, these are hands, most times we use it to wipe our eyes. Sometimes we forget to pick something and then put it in our mouth. So it is very often that we practice hygiene every now and then because of all those places we place our hands on. Okay, requirement for hygiene personnel. Health status, right? You must be physically fit, illness and injury, personal cleanliness, and personal behaviors also. If you have someone who is tidying up is or a problem, doesn't find it should I say important to tidy up, you need to help them to understand that, okay, dude, you cannot just continue being like this. You need to keep up, you need to keep your things properly arranged. It is very, very important, because if not, a lot of other escalation, a lot of things that are not supposed to be are going to be, right? And then it helps us to keep, it shows neatness and orderliness, okay? So importance of good personal hygiene. Okay, describe the system of sanitary principles to prevent health. Okay, personal hygiene refers to cleanness of a person's body, right? Communicable disease helps us also to prevent communicable diseases for ourselves and also for those around us, and also for our family members. Most of us, we go out and then from there we come back home, and all sorts of that we've gone through. You don't just go back home and then your little children, you want to hug them, you want to carry your babies or something. The first thing you should do is ensure, especially if you're working in an environment that is not so conducive, right? When I mean conducive, you have a lot of activities going on, and it's the same clothes you wear from home, you use in your facility. You don't have a change clothes or something. It is important that the first thing you should do is wash your hands and try to have a proper shower. It is very, very important. Refers to personal hygiene, refers to cleanliness of a person's body. Yeah. Ensure you have a proper shower. We all walk in this Lagos where there is traffic. Maybe you are driving, maybe you drive or you don't drive or something. You meet with people, you mingle, even if you meet, there are lots of things. So it is always important that we keep ourselves clean for the sake of ourselves and also for the sake of our family. Sorry? Raymond, I didn't get that, please.
I say even touching all the rails.
Yes, touching rails and all that. I mean, someone could have coughed on it or something and ew. So it is important that we keep ourselves safe. And also, communicable diseases, pathogen transmits by one person to another, maybe by touch, through food, or aerosol. So we should try as much as possible to ensure that we practice good personal hygiene. Because if you yourself don't practice it, how do you want to inculcate it? How do you want to teach it to those working with you? You understand? So it is very important that we do that. Benefit of hygiene and sanitary. Okay, in school, effective learning, increased enrollment of girls, reduces incident of disease and worm infection, environmental cleanliness, implementing child's rights. Okay, so all these are benefits of hygiene in school also that we can put in our facility. Hygiene promotion, combination of hardware and software components to produce a healthy school environment and to develop or support safe hygiene behavior. Okay. The hardware components such as drinking water, hand washing, disposal, waste disposal, and disposal of facilities in and around the school. Activities that involve the soft component, activities that promote condition at school and practice of school staffs and children that helps them to prevent water and sanitary relationships and parasites. Okay, so hygiene promotion key principles. What are those key principles for us to practice this hygiene? How can we promote it in our place? Please, if I'm too fast, let me know so that I would slow down. Am I too fast? Okay, I'll continue. So,
no, you're fine.
Okay, thank you. So we have these seven principles for us to promote hygiene, target a small number of risk practices. What are those things that you know that are risky, that can cause hazard, that can cause incident, that can cause unsafe conditions in your place? Okay, you target them and then you decide on cost-effective method of eliminating them. Identify the appropriate channel of communication. Hygiene message needs to be positive. Okay, you need to let everyone, your workers, even those you work with, okay, because we know, because of we don't want to offend our clients, and we see they are doing some things that are not hygienic. You feel like na client to make I no go talk now, maybe they no go say my own too much. No, you speak up, especially when you know that life matters. Okay, you need to help them to understand that, oh, I feel this is not right. And if every day you keep saying something like that, they'll say, Raymond, you don't self too much. We don't hear. You see, little by little, they start to change, start to improve, and then do better, okay? What's happening? So communicable disease. What are communicable diseases? We all know. Okay, I want 3 persons to tell us 3 communicable diseases. Are we together? Hello.
Tuberculosis.
Yes.
Tuberculosis, okay.
Sneezing.
Sneezing, yes, that's the most easy one, okay.
Coughing.
Cough, okay. So it is, we all know this tuberculosis, sneezing, coughing, cold, diarrhea, fever, and all sorts of diseases that are out there. We should try as much as possible. If we notice that any of our staff, even we ourselves, we are experiencing this thing, we should try as much as possible to stay away and treat ourselves, okay? Don't, because of the salary you want to receive at the end of the month, you now go and then go and jeopardize with every other person's life, okay? Don't say because work needs to be done and then your staff who has reported that he or she is having a particular symptoms, you say you must come to work. Who's going to do your work for you, blah, blah, blah. It is important that diseases like this, we try as much as possible to eliminate those who we think might even be having, so we don't have contact with those having it, and then we can also save ourselves. Yeah. We talked about personal hygiene, washing of our hands, right? Washing of, when we wash our hands, we don't just run our hands under the water. It's more than just running your hands under the water. When you wash your hand, you wash your hand properly with soap and water for at least 5 minutes. You wash under your fingernails, you wash your hands properly, not just, and then you just sprinkle it into the hair, and then whatever it is that is in your hand, you give it to your next brother give it to you, and then lo and behold, that is the end of the story. So it is important that when we are washing our hands, we wash it properly with soap before touching food, especially when you're coming out of the toilet. You keeping hands on unclean articles or articles that have been used, you know, picking our nose, sometimes some of us do all those things. So it is important that our hands should always be washed, always, every 5 to 10 minutes. If you know you've touched surfaces, you've touched something, just stand up, take a stroll, wash your hand, and come back. Whenever we are coughing, most times we cough into the hand. The normal practice is you cough into your elbow, right? Or maybe if you have an handkerchief or something, you cough into it. Avoid. Sorry. Avoiding exposure of other persons to spray from the nose and mouth, as in coughing, sneezing, and laughing or talking. You know, you just see some people, they just be laughing, and then you, unfortunately, speech will just. God, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, someone will just laugh out and mistakenly spit to just splash on the face or something. So you should always, as much as possible, it's not, I feel so embarrassed that it was only when we had COVID, and then everybody started wearing nose masks, everybody started carrying hand sanitizer and all that. Why is it that particular period? Let us not wait until we have such an emergency before we start practicing safe hygiene, personal hygiene in ourselves, in our home, or also in our facilities. So keeping the body clean by sufficiently frequently soap and water baths. We should always ensure we have a bath from our workplace. We've discussed earlier. Okay. Okay. Again, cleaning fingers. All right. As much as possible underneath our fingers. We should ensure that their needs are custodian, not the one that will fix forehung, long. Oh, please. How does he or she? How does he want to squeeze the mop or something, or how does he want to wipe without having scratches? So it is important that they keep clean nails, not all those gorilla nails around in your facilities. And we have some boards, they said they keep nails and they feel like it's cool. No, it's not cool. It's not personal. It's not a clean hygiene. If you're keeping nails and then you're feeling like it's a clean hygiene, no, it's not, because you don't even get to clean that nails, don't get to treat it and all sort of things. You use the toilet and every other thing, and then you still use that thing to put in your mouth. Please, it is totally wrong. Washing the body, it is important to prevent skin infection. And one way to prevent skin, to prevent that is by bathing properly. It's not only when we use soap and sponge, it's not only when you use sponge to scrub the entire body, almost scrub the skin off, that you think maybe that's when you are clean. No, it is important that we use good soap, a lot of water, and wash our body properly. Our face has an important role in the prevention of eye infection. Okay, so washing of the face. We walk outside, we sweat most times, right? And then it's our eyes. It's a very sensitive part of our body, isn't it? Because without your eyes, you won't be able to see me. I don't know if everybody can see me, but without my eyes, I won't be able to see every other person. So it is important that we always wash our face. It is important that our clothing, we always change our clothing. Our underwears for the female, change your underwears as often as possible. Don't wear one for 2 weeks or a week and say, we know every other thing that we used to say, but it is important that we always wash these things. It is important we teach our custodians also. Excuse me. It is important that we teach our custodian also to always wash their underwears as often as possible. Okay, wash our beddings as well. Our beddings also. How often do we change our bed sheets? Is it every week or every month or quarterly? It depends on you how you change it, but it is also important so that we don't cause lice and bed bugs and all those things. It is important that we change them as often as possible. Also, for our own proper health-wise, right? Ensure you wear clean clothes. We've talked about it. Ensure your employees, ensure their uniforms are properly washed or ironed, I mean. And ensure you provide them the right, the right clothes. You don't expect a lab worker to be wearing a caterer's uniform. Okay, so ensure you provide your employees the right clothes and the right equipment on what they need to do, as well as also the shoes. Okay, before you go to work, take your shower, put on clean clothes and footwear, keep fingernails clean, trimmed, and without polish. Okay. So when you get to your workplace, your clothes, if they are not allowed to go into the place with their work. I know some places they have their changing room, they have their where they keep their stuff. Okay, ensure that the place is properly tidied and you keep your things as where it is designated. You don't see their food, you put one side and then you see another side. No, ensure that all these things are kept to where they need to be kept to. So when you're at work, you should wash. After you use the toilet, again, always wash. After touching bare body skin, after coughing and sneezing. So it is always important that you wash your hand and wash it as often as possible. Even if you are in your house. I know you've gone to the toilet twice or thrice today. Okay, so we see that in some factories they put on hair nets and to cover their hair. Those that work in the food area. Oh, why? We don't want to be seeing food inside. We don't want to be seeing hair. I mean, inside the food. We don't want any contaminated stuff. Someone will just scratch his or her hair and they do the fingernails like this, and then that thing will just go and enter into the food. Please, if you work in a factory area or a food area, ensure that your employees are well covered, their hair are well covered as well. So We don't have contamination from the food, the oils, and all the chemicals we put inside our hair into the food or into what it is we serve. So housekeeping, we'll read up good housekeeping and what it applies in our environment. So employees, housekeeping responsibilities, what do they do? What do they do? To do an in-normal housekeeping inspection of the area on a daily basis. You know, everything you ask them to do, every tidying up, ensuring that the house is in order, ensuring that this is properly done. Do not ask your employee, especially if it's not learned, to go and do anything electrical. Please, it is very, very not acceptable. Okay, we know there are some areas whereby we have our workers to go tidy it up, and there are some electrical wire or cables or something. Please ask someone who has the experience to tidy it up to tidy it up before he or she goes there to go and clean. Why do we do this? So we don't have electrocution, so you don't have a case of incident or accident, so you don't have trip and fall hazard or any other thing that could happen. Okay, for the safety, that's all, the safety of your staff and also for your own namesake. Okay, so we read up more responsibilities. We'll talk about pest control and practices. How often do we throw away our trash? Do we leave our trash outside and then let flies and lice and cockroaches and rats, pests come there to come and gather it up? Or we throw it away every day, okay? You don't let your trash slip over in your sites, I mean, or in your houses overnight. It is wrong. That way you start inviting the cockroaches, the rats, and all those things start coming in. But every night you have someone to take the trash out. Take the trash out, and when the trash is being taken out properly, not just dump it, okay, they tie it inside the bag and then properly dispose it. That way we are keeping our environment safe from flies and cockroaches. Okay, so we also have different type of waste, and how do you manage them? We have different type of waste, and also the management of waste as well. We also have treating of waste. What kind of waste do we treat? Does anybody know? Anyone at all? Okay, so that's an assignment for us to go and find out the type of waste that we treat here in Nigeria. Training manager, are you there? Please take notes. As part of the assignment, they would have to find out the type of waste we have and also the type of waste that are being treated here. So we have chemical and dust. We would all look into this and then we'll read it to know also about that. What is happening here? Okay, so ingredients in common cleaning products, we've talked about the cleaning products. So also safety, we need to put into consideration as safety. We've talked about this. Emphasis cannot be laid enough on safety at work. It is very, very important. If you don't put safety first in your work, then that means you are trying to put everyone at risk. Okay, so it is important that you let your workers, employee, understand the importance of safety in the workplace, because not only will it save you, but it will also save them as well that are doing the work. So safe in using chemical, safety in cleaning, safety in chemical usage, safety in material and tools handling. It is very, very important. So the hierarchy control of practicing the hierarchy control for safety, okay? We can all look into it. The engineering control as well for the safety administrative, and then the PPE. Most times we say that because we want to go and do this one, that one, we carry helmets, carry this. Yes, it is important that you wear the correct tools, but it should be our last resort, okay? After putting every other thing into consideration, then the PPE, our special clothing, health protection, hearing protection, and respiratory protection should be our last resort when we are trying to get things done, okay? Assessment, okay. So any question? Hello, Can anybody hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear.
So do we have any question before we end this? Okay, Faith.
Yes, waste sourcing, sorting, or rather sorting, I wanted to say, sorting of waste. You were a bit silent on that.
Waste sorting. I asked earlier, what kind of waste do we sort?
How do we ensure
What kind
that
of
is
waste
achieved?
we have,
Yeah, go ahead.
I asked what kind of waste do we have and then how do we sort them? So since nobody said anything, and then I made it an assignment that we would give at least 3 types of waste we have and then how they are being sorted and treated, right? In our country, Nigeria. Yes, so that's an assignment I gave everybody.
Okay, I still have one more comment.
Okay.
Okay, so considering this vast and very deep subject, so I'm just digressing a little bit, not much, but a little bit. Instead of these housekeepers that we have been talking about, why not cleaning services professionals? Because
hey,
hold on, madam. Okay, madam, go ahead. Go ahead.
Saturday.
Oh yes, yes.
Okay,
this
because
is
you
very
use that word. That's why I asked again. You use that word. Exactly.
Yeah. Cleaning services professional. I'm just looking at it from another perspective now.
Okay.
Cleaning services professionals, because this is deep. This is not just about sweeping the floor, dusting the table, and we went to body hygiene, went as far as all sort of cleaning. We covered everything. So this is really deep. I'm still wondering whether housekeeping terminology covers all of these. I'm just looking at cleaning services professional. But again, how do you call them professionals if they are not, educated to a certain extent? But again, I leave that one to the educators who will know how to carefully Yeah.
Okay, so this is what we will do for questions and concern. Okay, most of us are on the WhatsApp group. Yeah, I think majority of us in this class should be on the WhatsApp group. We can have a discussional class on this, and then everyone can hear out and share their opinions about this. Would that be fine? Is that okay?
Perfect, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Good. So that way we can have a discussional class. Everybody can put in what they think about the building custodian. I know that's what Faith is trying to say. We discussed this already, and then we can all hear ourselves out, and also another means for each and every one of us to learn. Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for your participation, and thank you for joining this
Thank you.
class. I hope we all learned something. At least, if not anything, we should always ensure that our housekeepers, our building custodian, our janitors, they are important person. We should add value to them and not just see them as mere cleaners, but those that add value to our facilities as well. Kiki, is it a question or a contribution?
It's a question. My question is it's not regarding the seminar we just as in the training this evening. My concern is that is it not possible for us to have the mobile numbers of all our trainers? Because at times we may have some things that we need to sort urgently. Of course, we know we have the number of the training manager, but she may not be in position to sort, to respond to some questions. So I'm making a kind of request that we have the mobile number of our trainers. That's my request now.
Okay, Kiki. So on your platform, I'm sure some of your training facilitators are there as well. Okay. And if there is anything, maybe like a question or something you need to know, that is why it's not just a group chat. Okay, it's not just a group thing that you think maybe it's just WhatsApp. No, it is a means for each and every one of us to come together to learn as well. But if you are keeping to yourself and I'm keeping to myself, none of us would learn. If you have something like this that you need to know, maybe you have a question or something, you can put it on the group. Are we together? You put it on the group. Someone who knows the answer, or even one of your training managers who could be in the group, can as well reply you right from there. You understand? But if
Take care.
But if for
Welcome.
personal reasons you want to have a trainer's phone number or something, you can discuss that with the training manager, and then she would probably decide what to do from there. Okay.
Okay. The reason why I asked this question, I remember like 3 weeks ago, I had an emergency situation at hand that required me to make a call, which I have to call Mr. Paul himself. So if I'm waiting that I want to put it on the platform, response may not come as at when I needed it. So that's why I'm just saying this.
I understand you, okay? I understand you. So, but when you put a call through to Mr. Paul, he replied you, yeah?
Immediately he responded, and what the advice he gave, that was what we applied, and at least we got a result.
I can assure you that the same time when you put that message on your WhatsApp group, you will get a response as well. But like I said earlier again, if you need the trainer's phone number or something, discuss it with your training manager, and then she would do the necessary if needful. But it is still important that you share it on the group, okay, so that everybody can learn. In case if there's a situation like this, Samuel or Elizabeth can know that, oh, someone has gone through this and this is the process, this is what they do. You get, and then together we are practicing what we are learning. It's not one person that is having the knowledge. Now it's only you that know what has happened, and it's only you that know the solution. I don't know. If person is something in my facility, there is no way others would know. You understand that? So that is the importance of the group. It's not just to say our class is starting, I try to submit my assignment is not submitted complete. No, it's also to share ideas and for each and every one of us to learn as well. Okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, everybody. Have a wonderful evening and stay safe.
Okay, ma. Good night.
Have a good evening. Goodbye.
Enjoy your night.